Good morning everyone. In previous video we have studied what are interrupts, interrupt enable register and interrupt priority register, and after that we have seen machine level, assembly level and high level languages, differences between them. After that we have studied instruction format and few examples on those. So today we will see addressing modes. In the previous class we have already seen what is an addressing mode and also the immediate addressing mode. So once we will go through this. So what is addressing mode? The CPU can access the data in various ways which are called addressing modes. So the data whatever we are giving to the CPU can be in the register or it can be in some direct address, or it can be the direct value itself. So to access those data we have different addressing modes. In various ways we can address those data. So that is those variety of addressing those data are called addressing modes. So in this addressing modes you have immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, then direct addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode and indexed addressing mode. So this is immediate addressing mode. Immediate addressing mode, the source operand is a constant. The immediate data must be preceded by the pound sign. This is the pound sign. Can load information into any registers including 16-bit DPTR register. So here the points I need to remember is the constant value will always be at the source side, because you can't make a constant value at your destination side. You can't write here your constant value 25H comma A. If you write this instruction, then this is completely wrong, because you can't move content of A into some value. You can always move some content or some data into some address, some location. This is not the location, this is the value itself, because it has a it is preceded by this sign, pound sign. Okay, whenever you make this sign to some value, then that means that is a constant value. It is not some address or some location. So you can't write this instruction. So that we need to remember. So next it can load information into any registers, let it be 8-bit registers or 16-bit means DPTR register. Okay. Next here the first we have already seen, whenever I write move A is in the place of destination, 25 is in the place of source. Okay. So at this for this instruction I am loading the 25 value into A, that is from source, whatever is there in this source, that value I am moving into A register. Okay. So then this operation is done. So if I see this instruction, I can say move is an operation which is done on the operands. Okay, that means what is an operation I am doing? The operation itself is I am moving some data into some location. So I am moving this 25 to A. Next, coming to the other example, here I have written move R4 comma pound 62. Okay, the difference between here and here is this is hexadecimal value. If I write H, if I don't write anything, that is decimal value. If instead of not writing anything, you can also mention by writing 62D. If you write D, that also takes as a decimal value. If you don't write this D also, it will consider by default it as a decimal value. So I am trying to move this decimal value into R4. See, in whatever formats you give here, let it be hexadecimal, decimal, binary, whatever you give, in the end your machine will convert, okay, your CPU will convert that so and so value into binary format only, because it can understand only binary. So it will convert to binary and then move that to R4. Okay. So yeah, so this move, here I am trying to move my decimal 62 value into R4. So now R4 will be equal to 62. Okay, if you write in binary format, you should then R4 has total 8-bit register, right? So if you write it in a binary format, yeah, here one more. So you can write just convert this 62 into binary form and just write it in this register. So now R4, this is for R4 register, 8-bit register, right? So it has all those values. Now next yeah, next is move. I am trying to move 40H into B register. So I am loading 40H into B register. Okay, now B will be equal to 40 after execution of this line. Next, move some 16-bit value into DPTR. So after execution of this instruction, DPTR will be equal to this, and I already mentioned you before that always whenever you are trying to move some value into some register, the size of the value should match the register size. Instead of this is of 16-bit, if this is a 16-bit register, if you take here some 8-bit register like R0 or R1, then you will get an error because size won't match. This is of 8-bit, R0 is of 8-bit, and the value you have given is of 16-bit. So in a 8-bit register, 16-bit value can't be moved. And also the even here, instead of A and 25, instead of A, if you take here DPTR, okay, if you take DPTR and if you move 25, DPTR is of 16-bit register, whereas 25 is of 8-bit value. So you can't move 8 into 16. Here also there is mismatch of the size of this value and the register. So in this way you can't move the values into mismatched registers. Here DPTR can be accessed as 2 8-bit register. We have seen already the high byte high byte is nothing but your DPH, data pointer high, then low byte is nothing but your DPL. So in this you can write in this way, or else you can write in this way. These two instructions are nothing but this itself. Here you are directly taking a DPTR as a 16-bit register and you are loading the 16-bit data into this. Here what you are doing is you are taking 8-bit and 8-bit, you are dividing this DPTR to lower and higher. If you take lower, just see this value. In lower you have 50. Okay, LSB starts at LSB, I mean you have 50 at lower byte of DPTR. Then here you are taking the higher byte. So that means DPL should contain 50 and DPH should contain 25. So you should move 50 into DPL and 25 into DPH. Okay, so if you you can write this or this both. Okay, you can do in that way. And here the thing what I mentioned was the DPTR, if it is a 16-bit register, then the maximum value what it can take is this, and the minimum value what it can take is this. Okay, in hexa. So whenever you are giving any value, the value what you are giving shouldn't exceed this. Okay, so see, here is trying to move the larger value in decimal. If you try it in decimal, your maximum value will be 5535. Okay, and minimum value will be 0. 0 is your minimum value and 65,535 is your maximum value. So you can't move more than this because your size of a register is that's it. You can't exceed the value of 65,535. You can't move more than this into that register. So here in this example, see, he has written 68,975 in decimal. So you can't move this to DPTR because size of DPTR is 16 bit. 16 bit register, the maximum value it can take is only this. Is that fine? So this will be an illegal. That means this is a wrong way of addressing this register. So here he has mentioned value. See, it shouldn't be greater than this value. Okay. After this, here in immediate addressing mode, see, we can use EQU, okay, directive to access immediate data. What I am doing here is, see, I have written here this is some EQU 30. So what I am trying to do is, in this complete program, wherever I have this in this complete program, I will have this 30, okay, always I will have this 30 value wherever I try to write count. Is that fine? So this equate means, see, here he has taken 30, okay, that is in decimal, there is no h beside that, so he will take as decimal. What he is trying to do here is, what he is trying to do here is, so count, that means this count will be equal to 30 in the entire program, okay. So he is trying to maintain some constant value for this count. So in this complete program, let it be 10 lines or 20 lines or 100 lines, whatever the program is, wherever you use this count, that will be equal to 30 in decimal. If you write it in hexa, that will be equal to 1 EH, okay. 30 means 2 to the power of 0, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So here 1, 4, 5, 2 and 0. So see, this is equal to E 14 value, okay, and you have only 1, so you will take 4 zeros here, then here this will be equal to 1. So this is 1 E. If you convert this 30 value decimal value to binary, you will get 1 E. So you are trying to, wherever you have a count, you are trying to write there a 30 value in decimal or 1 E in hexa, okay. So you will take that by writing this EQU, this instruction, you can make a constant value to so whatever count value you are giving here, you can easily make a constant value in the overall program. So wherever you want to use that, you can take that whatever you have defined here, okay. So now in this instruction, you see, move R4 comma ash count he has written. That means before this 1 EH there is a this ash symbol, or if you write in decimal, there is a ash symbol before that. That means you are trying to move that constant value into R4. If you don't mention this in front of that, that means whatever is there in that 1E location, inside that 1E location, that value will be moved to R4, okay. Is that fine? But he is mentioning this value, he is writing this print of that count. That means this is an immediate data. So this immediate data is moved to R4. See here, that is what he showed. R4 is equal to 1E in hexa. He mentioned it in hexa. Next, the next line is move dptr comma. See here also he mentioned this, and he has written my data. Okay, some label. He has given some label. Here, before going to that, we will first discuss what is org and what is db. Okay, so org is nothing but you can say origin. I mean, you can by writing org wherever my microcontroller is, it will by seeing this it will directly go to 200 location. Okay, this 200 location that controller moves, and from that place I'll define this db is the directive is nothing but defined byte. So this defined byte, and I have written this America. That means this value whatever, whenever I am defining some byte, I can write it in hexa or decimal, or I can write it in ASCII. Okay, so these are ASCII values. So what I am doing is I am writing this each ASCII value here. So if I want this to be moved to dptr, what should I do is, see here I have written move dptr. Into dptr I am trying to move some data here. So my data will be not this A directly. First this dptr will point towards this location. Okay, so at that location, see it is pointing towards that location. At that location I have first ASCII character whatever it is. Okay, if it is A, then MERICA. Each time whenever it calls, you need to write a little bit program more. We will see later how it works. Okay, so by this I can easily move this complete ASCII characters, okay, into the memory location. So first here what you need to understand is this equations EQU, ORG and this DB. Okay, how to use and all. This EQU equation is used to define some constant, okay, in the overall program. ORG this instruction you use from wherever you wanted to start writing some bits of data, let it be in ASCII or hexa, wherever it is, you can directly jump there. Okay, directly your controller takes to that location. That means it is trying to say that origin, it is starting from there. Okay, that is its origin. So from there I'll try to here whatever this location, whatever this addresses where this program were written, okay, we are not bothered of that. Wherever the controller was, whichever the location it was, whenever it sees this instruction, it will directly jump to 200, and from this 200 location I am storing this value, the America, in ASCII. Okay, by writing by giving some label, that is my data. And always remember this label, if I write it here, then only that ASCII character whatever you have defined it, okay, here America, that will move into dptr. If instead of writing my data, if you write only data here, there is no my, only data, that means here also you should write that label itself, you shouldn't write this my, only data. So that means for this label you are defining this byte whatever you wanted to write, and that will move into this so and so location wherever you wanted to move. So here we can also use immediate addressing mode to send data to 8051 ports. What does that mean? You have 4 ports in 8051. So by using this immediate addressing mode, see here he is trying to move 55H into P1. Okay, 55H into P1. So here that means if this is my port 1, 8-bit port 1, if I am trying to move 55, that means it will be 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. This is the value for 5 and this is the value for 5. So port 1 will contain this value now. Is that fine? So one is set, other is reset, set reset, set reset, in that way. So move P1, P1 is your port, comma front of that immediate addressing mode symbol, that is the pound symbol, and 55H. He has written this. So by using this immediate addressing mode, we can move into 4 ports whatever value we wanted. Now the other addressing mode, that is register addressing mode. So in this register addressing mode, use registers to hold the data to be manipulated. So whatever data you wanted to move or add or whatever you wanted to do, subtract, divide, for whatever operation, you can use only registers in this addressing mode. Okay. So we will see the first example. This is move a comma r0. So here see, copy the contents of r0 into a, because r0 is in source position whereas a is at destination. So always source will move into destination. We know this instruction format. Okay. So copy the contents of r0, whatever is there inside r0. If r0 has 0 to h value, okay, inside that, after execution of this line, then a will be equal to 0 to h. Copy the contents of r0 into a. Okay. Next, move r2 comma a. So now in this instruction, I am trying to move contents of a into r2 register, because a is at source and r2 is at destination. So from a it will move to r2. That means after execution r2 will be equal to whatever was present in a. For example, we will consider the same thing. See, a we have 0 2. Okay, I assumed a has 0 2. So now after execution of second line, r2 will be equal to 0 to h. Okay. So r2 will contain 0 to h. Now the third instruction we will see. Third instruction is add. Okay, the operation is changing. Before we saw move operations, we were trying to move. Now I am trying to add a comma r5. So see, r5 is at source and a is at destination, that you remember. Okay, before that, first of all, operation here is addition. So to add these operands, we have a and r5. So whatever is present inside a and whatever is present in this r5, if you take a has 2 and r5 has 3, okay, in hexa, so what it does is it will add this both. Okay, a is having some value before execution. I am talking about this register. A is having 0 2 and r5 is having 0 3. So 0 2 and 0 3 will be added. So the result after addition, you will get 0 5. After execution of this, what happens is you will get some result, right, after operating using that ALU, and that result will store in the destination. Destination is a, right. So we have seen for a register is always taken to store the result for all arithmetic operations. So here this 0 5 will be stored in a. So before execution, a had 0 2 here. Now after execution, this a will become 0 5. Is that fine? Are you getting? So before, I will just make it clear here. See, this is before execution and this is after execution. So in this before execution, a is equal to 0 2 and r5 is equal to I took 0 3 in hexa only. Okay, always you should write h. Here there is no space for me, so I am not writing. Yeah. Now after execution, after this instruction is been executed, what is going to happen is this 2 will be added. Okay, and you will get result as 0 5 h. So that result should move to a in the destination side. So after execution, a will be having 0 5. Yeah, a will be having 0 5 h. Okay, next r5 will be the same 0 3 h, because that was at source. Is that fine? So after execution, a is 0 5, before execution a was 0 2. So in the end, the operation, the addition operation is being applied on these both operands, and after that whatever the result, that is also stored in register A. Okay, is that fine? So I'll just erase. Yeah. Now add the contents of R5 to contents of A so that is what he had written, contents of R5 and A. Actually add the contents of R5 and A and move the result to A, that you need to write here. Okay, the comment, yeah, see, whenever you are writing some instruction format, this is the comment what I am trying to write. Okay, so before writing a comment, always it should start with a semicolon. That means if I write this, this doesn't come under the program, the instruction for that is only this line. Okay, so I am trying to make this separate from this, I am trying to separate this comment from this program. So I should always start it with a semicolon. So semicolon, and if I write this at time of execution, that will not consider this complete line for any execution. Okay. So yeah, next add A comma R7, exactly the whatever the above instruction we have seen, it is exactly the same, but here instead of adding the content in A and R5, here it will add the contents of A and R7. Okay, whatever is present in R7, you write the comment in the same way whatever I am saying. Okay, add the contents of A and R7, okay, and then move the result to register A. Is that fine? This instruction says this. Next, move R6 comma A. So here see, it is exactly same like this this instruction. Here I am trying to save accumulator in R6 or trying to copy contents of accumulator into R6. Okay, whatever you are writing, you should understand the meaning, what is happening in that instruction, what operation we are doing, and where the result is storing, and where we are trying to move the contents. So according to this, it is same like the second instruction, move R2 comma A. You are moving some contents, whatever is present inside A, you are trying to move that to R6. Okay, after execution, whatever was there in A, R6 also has that. Yeah, here the source and destination registers must match the size, which I said you already. So if A is destination and R0 is source, see, both are matching its size, because R0 is of 8-bit register, A is also of 8-bit. In the second instruction also, let us see, A is of 8-bit, R2 is of 8-bit. Third instruction, R5 is of 8-bit, A is of 8-bit. Next, fourth instruction, R7 is of 8-bit, A is of 8-bit. Fifth instruction, A is of 8-bit, R6 is of 8-bit. Okay, always it should match the destination register and source register's size. Okay, so see, move A DPTR comma A will give an error. Why? Because A is of 8-bit size, whereas DPTR so A is of 8-bit size and DPTR is of 16-bit size. So there is a mismatch of size. When there is a mismatch of size, definitely it can't operate. It will show you some illegal error. So you can't take different size registers. See here in this move DPTR comma, here he has moved 16-bit value, because this is immediate addressing mode. Okay, so 16-bit value he has moved into this, and after moving he has moved DPL to R7 and DPH to R6. So the movement of data between Rn registers is not allowed. Yes, this point we will see later. First we will see what is happening in these three instructions. See, first he made DPTR equal to 25F5. Okay, this. So after that, now if you look at this value 25F5H, F5 is in DPL, lower byte of DPTR, 25 is in higher byte of DPTR. Okay, so if you divide this into 8 bit like lower byte and higher byte, so DPL consists of F5. Okay, next DPH will have 25H. Okay, is that fine? Do you agree with this? This is DPTR, which where we moved this value into DPTR 25F5H. See this value. Now from this lower byte is F5. Lower byte of DPTR consists of F5. So that is what I have written here. Next higher byte of DPTR has 25. So that is what I have written here. Now see this instructions, you see he is trying to move this, both are register addressing modes, because in the previous slide, in this slide, see he has moved A to DPTR, that is not possible. Okay, this is not possible because there is mismatch of size. So if you want to move some 8-bit content, some 8-bit register into from DPTR to some 8-bit register, or from 8-bit register to DPTR, so I can use this as DPL and DPH. So here by writing this instruction move R7 comma DPTL, what I am trying to do is, now R7 will be equal to, see this DPTL is at source, R7 is at destination, operation is move. So whatever is there in this DPTL will move into R7. So what is there in DPTL? F5. So now R7 is equal to F5. Next move R6 comma DPH, that means whatever is there in this DPH will move into R6. DPH is equal to R6 will be equal to what is there in DPH? 25 hexa values. So now R7 and R6 complete this DPTR value, we moved into these two 8-bit registers. Is that fine? So in this way we can move. One more thing, now instead of this, if I want to move, I will just strike off this line. I am trying to move from registers, 8-bit registers to DPTR. So if I if I want to move 2001 into DPTR, okay, 2001H, 2001H into DPTR. So first what I have to write is, instead of writing this program, so I will write here new instruction. See here, first I should make this both, I will send this both 8-bit, I will divide this it into 8-bit, I will send this into one register, this into one register, I will take this as R1 and this as R2, I will send that. Okay, so for that what are the instructions I need to write? I need to write move R1 comma #01H. Next I have moved this 01. Next move R2 comma #20H. Okay, this also I moved to R2. Now R1 has 01 and R2 has 20. Now next what should I do? I should move this R1 and R2 into DPTR. So I directly can't move because this is of 8-bit size and DPTR is of 16-bit size. So I'll take this DPTL and DPH. Okay. So in DPL what should be there? Lower byte 01. So 01 is in what? R1. Okay. So first I'll write move destination, DPL should be in destination, comma, I am moving R1. Next another instruction is move DPH, comma, I am trying to, now I wanted in DPH I wanted this 20, that is in R2. Okay, so R2 I will write here. So see, this both are immediate addressing modes and this both are register addressing modes. So now what here after moving this, now complete DPTR will be equal to, see I am writing here, see lower byte means here I have lower byte means R1, R1 means what is in R1? 01. So this is 01 at lower byte. Okay. higher byte means R2 was moved into higher byte. Next in R2 what you have 20. So this is 20. Now complete DPTR is having 2001H. Is that fine? In this way I can move. This example was using addressing register addressing mode. I can move some data from DPTR to 8-bit registers using DPL and DPH, and this example was to move the data from 8-bit registers to DPTR using two 8-bit registers of DPTR, that is DPL and DPH, vice versa. Okay, is that fine? So now see here, instead of writing all these 4 steps, I can easily wind up writing in 2 steps also. Okay, it is like instead of writing all this, see I can, this is using register addressing mode. Instead of that I can directly use immediate addressing mode and I can write here itself 01 and 20H. Okay, so if I write only this 2, yeah, see in this if I want to write this 2001 in immediate addressing mode, this will be. So what is the difference between before and now is, before we used register addressing mode and in this case I am directly using immediate addressing mode. Okay, so this is the difference. I can write it in any way. I can access the data in different ways, okay, in different addressing modes. So now after this, yeah, here one more thing we have, this the movement of data between RN registers is not allowed. RN means what? It can be from R0 to R7. So that means you can't, whenever you are trying to write this register addressing mode, this is a very important point you should remember. You can't move data from same bank registers. Okay, if you write your R1 here, if you take R0 and R1, you can't write same RN registers. Okay, you can't take same, you can't move from R0 to R1 or R1 to R0 or R2 to R0. Two RN registers can't be used in a same instruction for movement or for any other operation. Okay, so always remember, two same bank registers can't be used. That doesn't mean you can use one register from one bank and other register from other bank. That is not at all possible. That is impossible, because I already mentioned you, at a time only one bank can be accessed. So when you are using R0 of one 0 bank 0, then you can't, at the same time you can't access other banks R1 or R2 in that way. So that is impossible. So what I am trying to say is, you can't use two, this is some example. Okay, he showed you some example, like you can't move R7 to R4. So the what is actual thing is, see, the movement of data between RN registers is not allowed. Between any two RN registers you can't move the data. If you want to move the data from R1 to R3, you can't write move R1 comma R3, you can't write this, this is wrong. Instead what you can write is move R1 comma A. So first you are moving this R1 into A, then you are writing move R3 comma A. Okay, are you understanding? To move the data from R1 to R3, you directly can't write move R1 comma R3. Okay, you are indirectly you are moving this data into A register, then you are moving from A to R3. So if you directly move, it will be invalid, you will get an error. in next class we will see the direct addressing mode and remaining addressing modes. So we will end this class by here. So we studied today the what are addressing modes, immediate addressing modes, examples of that, register addressing mode, and examples for that, the movements, the mismatch of data and all. We have seen few important points, what to use and what not to use. Okay. So thank you.